Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. On the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, moving on. If this is the first time to the Jamaica Young Police channel and you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please consider subscribing. Like the video. And once you like the video, a pop-up is going to show that it says hype the video. Hype the video. By hyping the video, you're making the video reach others on the YouTube platform. And those of you who have been here with at the Jamaica Young Police channel for years and you're subscribed and you're not receiving a notification, please unsubscribe and subscribe again. Remember to share the video because you know that the channel has been an attack by the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization and their surrogates at YouTube. You have seen it for yourself, where they have even distorted my voice, trying to turn me into American. And I'm not. When I say American, I'm talking, speaking like an American. I'm not an American. I'm a Jamaican by birth, and I'm proud of my Jamaican accent. Not changing it for anything in the world. I'm not trying to be something or someone else. I am me, authentic. A man who's from the belly of the beast. Yes, so remember, share the video with your friend, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your mama, your papa, side chick, side man, and your colleagues. And tell a friend about the Jamaica Young Police channel. That we over here, we cater only for the law-abiding citizen. We are not sympathetic to the criminal-minded people or those who benefit from criminals and criminality. So today, it's breaking news. A Jamaican gang, they were arrested in Nassau County, New York. Yeah, man, we're gonna let you see the video. Them find 47 guns and drugs everywhere Jamaicans have been. That's crime. Because you have to understand this, that you have a political party, which is a criminal organization, the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. They are the one that benefits from criminality in Jamaica. You will never hear them tell the youths to abandon criminality, take up a life, choose a life of being a law-abiding citizen. If you pick up the gun, you get 15 years to life or you go to the departure lounge. They do not love black people. As a yours truly, I'm from the belly of the beast. And that's the only thing that they imparted to us. Criminality. Nothing else. So as you have seen, you're looking at 6 Jamaicans right there being arrested and charged in New York. And I hope that the FBI, the feds, make sure that these men get a plenty, make sure they get several years, many years in prison, so that by the time they come out, they have no use for themselves. For any nation to become prosperous, peaceful, and respected around the world, it must have one principle that stands above all others: the rule of law. No country has ever achieved lasting success by rewarding criminality or by allowing accountability to fade in obscurity. When governments debate reforms to criminal record policies, they face difficult balancing act. On one hand, societies often recognize that people who have served their sentences and genuinely turn their lives around deserve an opportunity to rebuild their lives. On the other hand, governments also have a duty to protect the public and ensure that employers, law enforcement agencies, and the justice system have access to accurate information where the law requires it. The concern many citizens raise is this: if reforms are perceived as making it too easy for serious criminal records to disappear from public view without careful safeguards, the public may begin to question whether accountability is being weakened, whether that perception is accurate or not. Governments must explain clearly how these policies protect both rehabilitation and public safety. The criminal justice system should send a clear message to every young person showing up in the country. Honesty is rewarded. Criminal conduct has consequences, and the consequences should be forever. If that message becomes blurred, society risks creating confusion about what values it truly stands for. Imagine two young people growing up in the same community. One studies hard, stay away from gangs, respects the law, and work honestly to build a future. The other repeatedly choose criminal activity, believing that the long-term consequences will eventually disappear. If society appears to treat these two paths as producing the same outcome, some people may conclude that the risk of criminal behavior are lower than they really are. Whether or not that conclusion is justified, that perception alone can undermine confidence in the justice system. The purpose of the criminal law is not simply to punish, it is to deter. It tells society that certain conduct, violent crime, gun trafficking, organized criminal activity, fraud, and drug trafficking will have serious consequences. Deterrence is intended to protect the public by discouraging future offending. In Jamaica, our current government, along with the PNP LGBTQ plus criminal organization, is the opposite. They're encouraging future offending. Another issue often discussed is how countries and the citizens who are deported after being convicted of crimes abroad. Many people believe that where permitted by law, there should be effective information sharing between governments so that law enforcement agencies have an accurate picture of an individual's criminal history. They argue that this helps authority assess risk, investigate serious crimes, and make informed public safety decisions. At the same time, these systems must respect privacy laws, due process, and the legal framework of governing criminal networks and criminal records. The objective should be to balance public safety with individual rights. If a nation hopes to become one of the safest and most prosperous countries in its region, its institutions must be trusted. Trust is built through consistency. Citizens expect the law to be applied fairly, regardless of a person's political affiliation, social status, wealth, or influence. This is why many successful countries emphasize several core principles: strong institutions, an independent judiciary, professional policing, transparent government, accountability for wrongdoing, and equal application of the law. Many people point to Singapore as an example of a country known for public order, low levels of corruption, and strict enforcement of its laws. Regardless of whether one agrees with every aspect of Singapore's approach, one lesson is clear: countries do not become known for public safety through slogans alone. They become known for it by consistently enforcing the laws, investing in institutions, and maintaining public confidence that rules apply equally to everyone. A nation cannot simply declare that it will become the Singapore of the Caribbean And when I say I'm talking about Jamaica, achieving that kind of reputation requires years of discipline, policy making, effective law enforcement, judicial independence, and a culture that values integrity over impunity. I don't see that happening in my lifetime. Jamaica becoming the Singapore of the Caribbean. We have too many criminal-minded people in government as politicians. The real question every citizen should ask is not what slogans sounds good.
We are following breaking news, a major gun trafficking bust on Long Island. Authorities say that some of the suspects are convicted to a violent Jamaican gang. Right now, Fox 5's Francis Wang is live in Mineola on Long Island to tell us more. Francis, what do you know so far?
Well, Ryan, officials are saying this all started with a routine traffic stop, and now 14 months later, they're calling this one of the most intense gun trafficking cases they've seen in recent years. Investigators even alleging that some of these illegal gun sales took place in the middle of the day in front of children as they were being dismissed from school. Officials also revealed that all 6 of these defendants, as you mentioned, are from Jamaica, ranging in age from 22 to 48 years old, and belong to a brutal Jamaica-based street gang. During a series of coordinated raids, investigators say they seized 47 firearms, including several high-capacity magazines, along with a kilogram of cocaine and 150 grams of heroin. Ballistic experts are also connecting the dots. They say that these thieves originally stole the guns from all across the country, and they've already linked at least 2 of those weapons directly to recent shootings in neighboring counties and other states.
This was a takedown of historic proportions that will not only make Nassau County safer, but the whole region.
This case is a powerful example of how we can accomplish when local and state and federal law enforcement work towards a common goal. Trafficking of more than 40 firearms is not a victimless crime. Every illegal firearms trafficked has the potential to be used in a violent crime.
Prosecutors say all 6 defendants will be facing numerous gun and drug charges. They also say this investigation is far from over. The district attorney here today saying she expects additional arrests and more charges to come as the investigators continue following these leads. We're live in Mineola. I'm Francis Wang, Fox 5 News. Ryan?
All right, Francis, thank you so much. Again, Francis reporting from Long Island.
Yeah, so it's the most important thing is not these slogans. What slogan sounds good, but rather what policies make our communities safer while respecting justice and the rule of law. If governments can strike that balance, supporting rehabilitation where appropriate, maintaining accountability for serious crimes, and ensuring that public safety remains paramount, they strengthen public confidence and encourage law-abiding behavior. But basically what our government have been doing for decades, since 1972, is encouraging criminality. I have never seen a government that has been destroying its own people from within. And it started by a white man from England by the name of Michael Manley. At the end of the day, every country faces a choice. It can build a culture in which honesty, responsibility, and respect for the rule of law are rewarded, or it can allow perceptions depending on choosing the path that reinforce justice, accountability, and equal treatment under the law. It must be consistent, or else it's going to erode public trust. So that's why we have these 6 Jamaicans being arrested in a Nassau County, New York. I know this is a big embarrassment to Jamaica, but Jamaica have no shame, because when these men return to Jamaica, they'll be returning to Jamaica as heroes, because they are criminals. In Jamaica, if you have never been to jail, you're a nobody. You have to be to jail or prison to be respected there. So when these men are deported to Jamaica, they are heroes, whether you like it or not, because that's how it is in Jamaica. A single firearm can change a community forever. A single drug transaction can destroy a family. But what happened when investigators believe they have uncovered an alleged network involving both drugs and guns? That's how Jamaicans operate. Everywhere they go, commit crimes. Most of them do not want to work because they were told that working slavery is over and it's time for us to make quick and fast money. Everybody in Jamaica want to be rich, but most of them do not want to work. They want the government to take care of them, and whatever you have, you must give it to them, or they will make your life a living hell, because that's the Jamaican culture. It's been rewarded for bad behavior for decades. And that's what the government currently has done. I have done videos about it, that the Donald Trump administration need to look at it, because Jamaica is sending criminals to the United States of America, whether or not you want to believe it. And this is not a joke. But what happened when investigators believe they have uncovered an alleged network involving both, that are drugs, drug dealing, and gun dealing? Jamaicans, everywhere Jamaicans venture, that's what happened. A major law enforcement operation in Nassau County, New York, has captured the national attention after both authorities, that's at the FBI and the city police, NYPD, announced the arrest of 6 men in what they describe as a significant gun and narcotics trafficking investigation. New York have their laws are more like Jamaica. They are very sympathetic to criminals. You can kill 4 people in New York, and after 10 or 15 years, they deport you back to your country. You don't stay in a prison for life in a New York. I don't know how them come by that. And if I can tell you, as a Jamaican, the safest place to live in America, you migrate, is in a red state. Although the red state, them, it's liberalism. They believe in second chance murderers and all kind of madness. So these states are not helping black people. They're destroying them mentally by being sympathetic to them with criminality. That's why they keep killing each other. And then black people hate it when you tell them the truth. So Nassau County, New York has captured national attention after authorities announced the arrest of 6 men in what they describe as a significant gun and narcotics trafficking investigation. According to prosecutors, the law enforcement officials, investigators recover 47 illegal firearms along with narcotics during an operation that authorities say took months of planning and evidence gathering. But behind the headlines is a much bigger story. How do criminal organizations obtain weapons? How do illegal firearms move through communities? How many illegal guns these guys send to Jamaica? How do investigators identify people allegedly responsible? And why does it take months, sometimes years, before law enforcement make a move? Because criminal investigations are not built on rumors. They are built on evidence, surveillance, witness interviews, undercover operations, financial records, communication at a wiretap. And the Jamaicans, them don't understand. Them do not know that, say, in every sphere in the American government system, there are Jamaican, law-abiding Jamaicans that right there. And when you think you're talking in a code, there are Jamaicans there that translating what you are saying. So when you talk and you think, say, you're at the raw patois and you alone and the other person, no, my brother, we are here listening to, and we are here doing the work for Uncle Sam, because we are informers. Tonight, we examine the investigation behind one of the largest alleged firearms and narcotics takedown in Nassau County. Whether or not them want to believe it, you know, them goose cook, you know. And if them have them US citizenship, I know that they'll be going after it too. We examine the evidence announced by authorities, and we examine the devastating consequences that illegal guns and drugs can have on innocent communities. But we must also remember one of the most important principles in American justice system. An arrest is not a conviction. No, it's not. Every person accused has the right to defend themselves. The government must prove its case in court. Tonight, this is not about replacing the courtroom. This is about understanding the investigation, the alleged criminal network, and why authorities say this operation matters. So now, you watch, you listen, and you decide. Because, as we said before, we say again, we do not like criminals. Period. Drugs and gun destroys lives. But Jamaican drug dealers, they don't care now. Criminal networks rarely appear overnight. They develop through relationships. One person may have access to weapons, another may have access to buyers. Another may have connections to transportation. Another may move money. Investigators often describe organized criminal activity as a chain. Remove one link, and another person may attempt to replace it. That is why major investigations focus not only on one person holding the gun or selling the drugs. Investigators attempt to identify suppliers, distributors, organizers, financiers, facilitators. The goal is to understand the entire structure, because taking one person off the street may not stop the operation. Taking apart the network can disrupt it in its entirety. When the public hear 47 firearms recover, and you hear that, you know, you don't know, you know. Many people ask, what does that really mean? It means investigators are not talking about one isolated weapon. They are talking about a volume of firearms, and authorities believe required a system to obtain, store, and distribute. Illegal firearms can come from different sources: stolen weapons, weapons purchased through illegal methods, firearms transported from other jurisdictions, weapons obtained for someone who cannot legally possess them. Every illegal firearm creates a potential risk. A weapon does not commit a crime by itself. A person makes that decision. But illegal access to firearm increases the danger when violence occurs. So the connection between drug trafficking and firearms, for decades, investigators have observed a connection between narcotics trafficking and illegal firearms. Why? Because criminal organizations often use weapons to protect territory, money, drug supplies, illegal operation. Drug trafficking creates competition. Competition creates conflict. Conflict creates demand for weapons. So when I have told people over and over again that people that sell drugs, they are capitalists, they are entrepreneur, because capitalism is all about making money. But the only thing with their operation is that it's illegal, but they are business people. Yes, capitalism is you invest your money to make a profit. That's what drug dealing is all about. But the difference is that now drug dealing is illegal and gun dealing, it's illegal. You have to register and go through the proper thing. But like for sell cocaine now, them now again license for sell that. Until in time the white man is ready to do that. So you have to remember that conflicts create demand for weapons. This cycle has impacted communities across America, from large cities to suburban neighborhoods. The victims are often not the people involved in criminal activity. They are children, families, innocent bystanders, community members. All law enforcement build a major case. The public often sees the final day, police vehicles, arrest, press conferences, but the real investigation happens quietly. A major case may involve surveillance, investigators, track movements and relationships, them see who them visit and watch them modus operandi and all of these things. Confidential sources, people with inside knowledge may provide information. You have a mole, someone inside of the organization, I work for you, the government. Investigators attempt to document criminal activity. Evidence analysis, weapons, drugs, communications, and financial information are examined. So them now keep no money in a bank, illegal money, because 9 out of 10 times these people are not working. Their work is to commit crime. And they already make up their mind, so them are going to prison or them go to departure lounge. That's how it works. Before charges are filed, prosecutors must determine whether the evidence supports criminal charges. The reason this process matters is simple. A conviction requires proof. Not opinion or emotion, but proof, evidence. So you're going to have wiretape and all kind of thing. You know, them wiretap them thing. So you're going to hear the tape in a court if them plead not guilty. And you're going to have people where I go try, the mastermind behind it, I go try to take a bite off out of the cake because he want less sentence. Behind every major criminal investigation, our communities are asking the same question. How did this happen? Parents worry about their children. Residents worried about violence. Business owners worry about safety. Communities do not want to become battlefields. They want neighborhoods where children can grow on without fear. The fight against illegal firearms is not only a law enforcement issue. It is a community issue. It requires parents, schools, churches, community leaders, police, prosecutors working together. And that's how you get the job done. The defendant and the court process, the 6 defendants charged, in this case, now face the American justice system. The charges are serious. The allegations are serious, but the legal process requires fairness. In America, when you charge as a black man for gun and drugs, you can't kiss it goodbye because them, you understand. The system is already designed against you, racism, and then you go commit crime, that make it double. So you have 2 harm that again. You have 2 things already against you. 1, you're black. 2, crime. So you goose cook. So the charges are serious. A person accused of a crime is not automatically guilty. But when you're black in America, you're arrested and charged with any crime, 99.9% of the time they're going to find you guilty, all when you're innocent. The prosecution must present evidence. The defense has a right to challenge that evidence. Witness credibility can be examined. Evidence can be questioned, and ultimately, a judge or jury determine the outcome. That's the foundation of the justice system. So these guys, as you know, black men from Jamaica, their goose is cooked. The bigger question, can we stop the next one? The biggest question after any major takedown is what happens next? Because removing one alleged network does not automatically eliminate the demand for illegal guns or drugs. What they're going to do now, the police, they're going to make sure them separate all of them so that them can't come up with an alibi. Spread them out. So those who, not this loyalty thing and me not snitch, those are the ones who are gonna get the big sentences. The mastermind, him always a take the first bite of the apple cart. Him no longer a prison for a long time. So why commit the crime then? The long-term solutions require addressing the conditions that allow criminal organizations to recruit and survive. That means stronger communities, better opportunity for young people, accountability for criminals. The criminal are getting a slap on the wrist and tell them about, when you commit crime, you get second chance. No. Prevention programs. Cooperation between citizens and law enforcement. A successful investigation is important, but preventing the next tragedy is even more important. So when them take these guns off of the street, them must save lives. And see the gun them already commit them shoot people already in a nearby county and other states. Tonight we look beyond the headlines. We look at the investigation. We look at the allegations. We looked at the evidence authorities say they collected. But we also look at the bigger picture, because every illegal firearm represents a possible tragedy avoided. Every criminal network dismantled represents a community given a chance. The courts will decide the guilt or innocence of those charged. But one thing remains true. Illegal guns and illegal drugs have consequences. Communities everywhere deserve safety. And if you reach right here at the end of this presentation, you just type no to drugs, no to guns. Yes, code word for this presentation, no to guns, no to drugs. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.